Well, it's 5 past. We're a small but select group, but shall we shall we make a start?
Let's
Let's
do it.
make a start then. Okay, so hello everyone. Um, so you have joined the One You East Sussex Adult Weight Management webinar that's focused on our adult weight management service today. So I think we've already mentioned we're recording today's session. Please feel free to use the chat box to type in any questions. I mean, we're such a small group today that actually, if you've got any questions, feel free to unmute at any time. We're not going to have 20 people all talking at the same time, so that's absolutely fine for such a small group. And yeah, so we're going to ask you to use the chat facility and also the React button as well at various points, just to make it a little bit more interesting and interactive, hopefully, for you. So on that note, 2 questions for you to think about for a moment. Maybe you can use your thumbs up or thumbs down React to let us know. First of all, have you heard of One You East Sussex before? Yes, that's good. One
Good.
person had. Yeah. Presumably then the other 2 of you haven't. So that's okay. No, you've not heard of us. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, and not so yeah, you've not. Okay. Well, hopefully then you will find today's session useful then, hopefully. And presumably if you haven't heard of us, you won't have referred into our services. But one of the Michelles had. Had you referred into us? Yeah, have not. No. Okay, no problem. So hopefully by the end of this session, you will know all about us and you'll also know how to refer into us if you'd like to. So this is what we're going to cover today. I'll give you a very brief overview of what we do at One You East Sussex and the different services that we offer, and then I'll pass you over to Lisa for the main event. So I'm Lisa Playford and I'm the engagement lead, and my colleague is Lisa Sayburn, who's the adult weight management lead. So sorry, just to properly introduce ourselves. Oh, just got another person joining us. I'll just let them in. There we go.
I've just sent a link to somebody as well that said they hadn't had the link, so somebody else as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. I know Charlotte sent it out Tuesday,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. So that's what we'll do. And then Lisa will go through the eight adult weight management service in a bit more depth. She'll talk about what the aims and the outcomes of the service are, what the service offers, and also you'll have an opportunity to ask any questions that you may have as well. And then I'll also tell you how to refer into the service and provide you with some key contacts as well. So all of these slides will be shared with everyone that's signed up. So you'll have all the contact details that I'll give you easily. And also as mentioned, we will share the recording of today's session on our YouTube channel as well, and provide people with the link for that, so that anyone that's been unable to make it can still have all the information.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is it that we do at One You East Sussex? Well, putting it very simply, we help people to make small changes that can have, over time, quite a big impact on their health. We are a service that's commissioned by East Sussex County Council with public health funding, so we are different from the NHS, and we do offer an holistic healthy lifestyle service. You'll see on the right hand side of the screen there's a bit of a menu. So these are the main pathways of our service, the things that we help people with. So we help people if they want to give up smoking. We help people to eat well. We help people to move more, to drink less alcohol, and the main event today, to lose weight, manage their weight. So we have over 70 clinics across East Sussex. We serve the whole of East Sussex area apart from Brighton and Hove. They've got their own healthy lifestyle service. We also have a van called Colin that we drive out and about to do outreach and also offer clinics in more rural areas and areas of high need as well. And the aim of our service is to try and reduce the prevalence of lifestyle risk factors that are associated with poor health. So we're trying to reduce the morbidity and the mortality associated with these risky lifestyle factors. Ultimately, so that we can reduce the burden on health and social care services. So that's the bigger picture. So I'll just tell you a little bit about each of our services now. So when somebody is referred into our services, most of the time, for most of our services, the first thing that they experience is an initial health assessment. And this is so we can identify any potential issues for them, see what their goals are, what they want to achieve, and then triage them into the correct pathway. So the only time this isn't done is with the NHS health checks, because that in itself is a more comprehensive health assessment. So I'll talk about the NHS health checks first. So they are effectively a heart MOT. They involve a 30-minute check, which includes lots of lifestyle questions, taking their height and weight, their heart rate, their blood pressure, a little pinprick test as well, which we can then test their cholesterol levels. And if some of the risk factors are coming up high, we can also check for diabetes. And then at the end of it all, people are given their heart age, they're given their likelihood of having a cardiovascular incident in the next 5 to 10 years. And they're also given a whole load of personalised lifestyle information and advice. And then this information shared with their GP. So that's the NHS health checks. So healthy lifestyle coaching is another one of our offers. And this involves 12 weeks of one-to-one support with a health coach to achieve those client-led goals that we've hopefully identified at the initial health assessment. And this is particularly for those move more, eat well and drink less pathways. One-to-one weight management can be provided in this setting as well, but Lisa will be able to tell you more about that later on. So another key service that we offer is our stop smoking service. Again, this is support offered over 12 weeks. And it includes, as well as the behaviour change coaching, it also offers nicotine replacement therapy on a reducing dose over that 12-week period. A lot of our interventions are 12 weeks, and it's that magic 12 weeks period to really affect behaviour change and for new habits to stick. So that's sort of evidence-based approach. With the stop smoking as well, we take the CO2 readings at each session to validate that people aren't having a crafty bag, basically. So that's stop smoking. One of the other things that we offer is free training for our health and community and voluntary sector partners. We can provide training on how to do health checks, how to use the Cobus machines that are used for health checks. And also we can offer stop smoking advisor training as well on request. The big offer that we make for free training that we deliver on a lot is the Making Every Contact Count public health initiative. Hopefully a lot of you will have heard of that already. But basically, it's how to have really effective conversations with people around healthy lifestyle change, but using the millions of day-to-day interactions we're already having with clients, patients, service users. The aim is it doesn't generate any more work for people, but it just helps people to feel confident in having those conversations and encouraging people onto a positive behaviour change journey. So that's training. If you are interested in training, we've got a whole training section on our website, and you can express an interest in any training on there, as well as giving us a call, and I'll give you all those contact details later. And finally, from me, the other thing that we do at One You East Sussex, just established last year, is the Active Eastbourne and Lewes partnership. So you may have heard of Active Sussex, and you may have heard of Active Hastings and Active Rother, and there was a little bit of a gap there. So we've been leading on setting up the Active Eastbourne and Lewes partnership. And this partnership effectively aims to bring people and organisations and communities together to increase access to physical activity and sport, with the aim of improving health and wellbeing generally, and strengthening those connections in the community. There is a small grant scheme attached to Active Eastbourne and Lewes as well. So members, it's free to join, and then members can apply for these small grants to help with getting sort of new grassroots community activities off the ground. So if you're interested in that, I'll also provide you with the website for that at the end of the session. So that's a real whistle-stop tour of what we get up to at One You East Sussex, but I'll now pass you over to Lisa for the deep dive into the adult weight management service.
Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. It's really good to have you here. It's really good for us to talk about our service and share it, and get people into the service that need it. So just to give you a little bit of background for those of you that haven't heard about us or aren't sure what we do. I apologise, my dog's just started barking behind me, so he may make an appearance. He's just woken up. Yeah, so we started One You East Sussex, the integrative service, including adult weight management, back in August 2017. The aim, really, from my perspective for the weight management service is that, although it's a generic offer, the reason behind that is to make us as accessible and available for as many people as possible within a particular remit, is to offer nutrition and evidence-based weight management information, guidance and support. And as Lisa says, our programs are that sort of magic number of 12 weeks, and we believe that this is enough time to make an impact, but without putting too much pressure on people to, perform, exponentially in that time. So in the last 8 years, I actually can't believe it's been 8 years. It's absolutely flown by, and we've had a pandemic in between there as well, which was interesting and rather disruptive, obviously. But we've still managed to see over, I've put almost here, but I think it's probably over 5,000 clients lose weight now within that time period. Equaling around 8,000 kilos. Just a little bit of trivia for you, but it's a really interesting number, I think, to show that over the years we've had a really positive impact on our clients coming through the service, which is really heartwarming. Our commissioned, we are a commissioned service, and we are commissioned to help 35% of our clients lose 3% body weight, and 30% of our clients lose 5%. And as you can see here from these figures, we're actually way above that in terms of, helping 60% of our clients lose 3 to 5% of their body weight, which is fantastic. And that is where we really want to be, and it's where we want to continue. And I'll go into a little bit of a team deep dive and in terms of what we do as well in a few minutes, but that's sort of maintaining our goal, really, which is really, really positive. Yeah, Lise, next, can you skip over to the next slide? I just want to ask a couple of questions, and so anybody, just if you have a response, or if you'd like to type something in the chat, or even just to sort of mull over these questions. Does anybody have any idea what the current percentage of adults in the UK who are A, overweight, and B, obese? Anybody got any ideas on the percentage? Like I said, even if you're just having a mull over, or maybe if you work within the NHS, if you work in certain areas, you may already know these, but anybody get any ideas, or even any idea of how much obesity-related conditions can cost our NHS or are costing our NHS per year? Again, maybe just some questions to ponder, but if anybody's got any answers, I'll be very curious to know what you think. Lise, any ideas? 20%? Okay, thank you, Michelle.
Should we play higher and lower?
Yeah. 2 billion. Okay, brilliant. 65%. Yeah, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Okay, thanks, Lise. If you can move us on, brilliant. So yeah, brilliant, exactly. Yeah, the numbers going up, and I think that we're very aware that it has become, and it has been becoming, a big problem for many reasons. And you know, our service operates from a place of warmth and support and guidance, and you know, making people feel very welcome into our service. There's no judgment here, there's no criticism, it's just these unfortunately are the cold hard facts, and that is that 64% of adults, and that's of 2025, are now classified as overweight in the UK, and 36% of adults classified as obese. And you know, there's a certain you know, when we use certain terms, they have sort of taken on over the years a bit of a negative connotation, and we try to steer away from that and just use these as clinical terms to define you know, somebody's weight and whether they might need help or not, or you know, our guidance and support or not. You know, obviously, like I said, our aim is to help people improve their health, also, but you know, live more comfortably within themselves. There's many reasons why people gain weight, and there's many reasons why people find it difficult to lose, and it's not just as easy as, you know, try harder, eat less, move more. You know, these are real pressure judgments that I think people you know, find are still directed at them if they're struggling to lose weight, and we very much steer away from that. It's a lot more complex than that. Otherwise, I don't think that we would be here. Yeah, and as Lisa said earlier, you know, our whole integrative service is aimed really at, you know, trying to relieve some of the pressure that is put onto NHS services. And obesity-related admissions and treatment alone per year are over £6.5 billion per year. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, you know, and we really want to play our part. And that's what we're trying to do. So hopefully by having these conversations and making, you know, more people aware of the fact that we are here and that we can help, you know, it's only positive, isn't it, really? So, okay, Lise, thank you. Next one. Okay, so I mean, again, apologies if any of you know any of this information, but why are we so important? Why are services like ours so important? You know, if people are struggling with being overweight, or particularly in terms of being obese, the increased risk for them of some of these conditions raises exponentially, you know, over time. Things like cardiovascular disease, metabolic syndrome, which is an umbrella term for diabetes, type 2 diabetes, you know, blood pressure, other sort of heart disease, etc. So, you know, quite serious conditions, really. Even things like respiratory conditions, which can include onset of adult asthma, sleep apnea, even certain cancers, which is, you know, terrifying, really. Anything really where having extra weight puts extra pressure on your bodily functions can be really seriously impacted. Even other conditions, you know, sort of joint problems or mobility problems can become a problem as well. And the one that we seem to be seeing more and more of, for not just reasons around the actual you know, people that are actually overweight or obese in themselves, it's the mental health aspect that goes along with why are people overweight in the first place? Why are we becoming obese? Is it the emotional eating? You know, is it, you know, for a lot of our clients, we see a lot of sort of body image concerns, self-esteem issues around dependencies on different foods. You know, we don't say addictions as much as we'd say a dependency. Sugar, I think we probably all do it. You know, we all have a reason outside of hunger why we eat, and it can be boredom, or it can just be, you know, habits, etc. So people's mental health is really being affected by this condition. Not to mention, as I said, the stigma really that's still associated with people who are overweight, the assumptions that are made if you are overweight or obese, that you are either lazy or you know, just got a poor diet or unfit, and a lot of this is really negative and actually really inaccurate. So not only do we want to help people, we want to try and educate people that this is actually a far more complex condition than it would first appear. And so, you know, we do deliver these services with, like I said, you know, a compassion and an absolute lack of judgment and kindness, really, which is what I think, you know, people need when we're talking about quite an inflammatory, quite a challenging topic. Also, people who are struggling with, sort of weight issues, can have real issues with energy, fatigue, combined with sleep disorders, often not sleeping properly, so throughout the day exhausted. When you're feeling tired, what do you eat? You don't go for the salad, you go for the biscuits, because it's high energy food. So the habits really do start to sort of roll on, and things can just get worse over the years. And also just simply longevity, the more obese that we stay, it can actually shorten our lifespan. I mean, again, this is quite scary. It's not about scaring anybody, but it's just, this is, things that we've observed, and sort of a lot of the evidence points towards the increased risk of all of these for overweight and obese people. Lise, thank you. Next. Sorry, that's quite a heavy topic, isn't it there? That's quite, talking about different conditions, it can feel quite scary. Has anybody got any sort of concerns or comments or questions? Sorry, I know, little man, I know. Anybody got any questions about that before we move on? Like I said, I know it's quite it seems quite sort of doomsday, doesn't it? But it's really just looking at sort of, what's possible and what the worst case scenarios are. Okay, so as the Adult Weight Management Service, it is a Tier 2 group service. It is generic in nature, and we don't deal individually with specific conditions, so sort of more serious conditions. So we do have an eligibility criteria to help us maintain appropriate and safe, effective referrals. Clients must be over 16 years old, BMI above 30 and below 40. However, there is we do generally have a little bit of wiggle room around that, just because if somebody comes to see me and they've got a BMI of 41, I'm probably not going to say no, as long as they don't have any comorbidities, or if they do, they're being managed by their GP. So a little bit of flexibility there. So it's always worth asking the question if you have a client that's slightly below or slightly above that BMI range. We ask for clients to not be pregnant or breastfeeding. I don't know if any of you know, I'm sure you do, but the advice around weight management can be very different. When somebody's pregnant or breastfeeding, really you would be talking about, sort of maintaining weight, certainly not losing. We wouldn't want a pregnant woman to change her diet and miss out on vital nutrients at that time in her life. So the advice can be very different. No diagnosed eating disorders. Again, quite a challenging situation here. If somebody's got a diagnosed eating disorder, then they need far more specific and sort of concentrated advice than we can give in that group dynamic. And when I say diagnosed, it's diagnosed by a GP or a health professional. We do still have people come to us with self-diagnosed eating disorders, but I suspect a lot of our clients have some kind of disordered eating to be there in the first place. So generally our advice would still steer along that sort of generic nutrition based, very well-rounded, balanced dietary information that we should all be following, whether we're trying to lose weight or not. And also we do have, because of the integrative service that Lisa's already introduced you to, we have health coaches that would complete an initial assessment and then refer them into our programme. This just helps us to make sure that we have the most appropriate referrals and that they line up with this eligibility criteria. So just a quick question, if anybody's got any ideas. Why do other than what I've already said, what do you think a more serious health condition might be? This is on the next slide, Lisa, but I remember putting it in. Yeah, thank you. What do you think might qualify as a more serious comorbidity where a referral back to the GP might be necessary, whereby we wouldn't see them? Any ideas? I mean, again, if not, don't worry, it's just a question to ponder. There are some key comorbidities where we would not want to get involved. For example, if somebody is diabetic and it's being managed via their GP and via medication, then they can come and see us. It's absolutely fine, because the dietary information really is very similar. It's about health, it's about balance, it's about consistency. But just to sort of answer my own question, one of the key areas really where we wouldn't see somebody would be where the digestive system is impacted, quite seriously. That could be like an intestinal cancer or something like that, where the dietary information might be very different. Things like kidney disorders. We don't work with people with kidney disorders because, again, that's one of the few conditions where information around, say, fruit and veg can be very different if you've got, chronic kidney disease. So we're very mindful of making sure. Blood pressure. I mean, it's a good question, Michelle. Yeah, again, if somebody has high blood pressure and it's being monitored by their GP and they're on medication and it is balanced, then we would still see them, because we don't do exercise with them. We only guide them through sort of safe, healthy, balanced nutrition. So really the nutrition advice to somebody with high blood pressure would be the same as to somebody just trying to lose weight. So the more serious comorbidities, they are we wouldn't want to see people where we could give conflicting advice to what the GPs have told them, or where it might just not be helpful at that time. So that is where we work closely with the rest of the service, i.e. the health coaches, and we would refer them back to their GPs just to make sure that the clients are safe. Thank you, Lise. Next. Okay, so the main thing, I guess, here is what do we offer? Sorry, there's a lot of words here. Don't feel that you have to read it. I will go through them all with you. And as Lisa has already said, all of our programs, apart from one, are actually 12 weeks. We offer Glogy Groups, which is a 12-week program of in-person sessions, weekly sessions. Clients get weighed. They get the chance to ask questions, to discuss, meal plans, food diets, etc. But there's a different topic each week, all based around healthy, sustainable weight management. We do discuss physical activity, but we don't suggest anything in those groups. We do then offer access to the participating venues. So if we are delivering these programs from a leisure centre, the leisure centre will work with us, and they offer the clients 12 weeks free gym trial and pool trial during the time they're attending. So they have an induction with the centre. They sign their membership form, etc., with the centre, so they're covered by the centre in terms of insurance, or once they're at the centre, it could be 6, 7, 8 p.m. in the evening. So then that wouldn't be, we wouldn't need to guide the client through that. But while they're with us, they get 12 weeks of nutrition information, 12 weeks of gym and pool access. We do also have new swim programs, which we've been starting to run this year, and they again are 12 weeks, and that is a 12 weeks of free pool swim sessions with a qualified practitioner and a weekly weigh-in as well. Alongside the swim program, we also have the 12-week digital weight management app. And if they are accessing the pool program, then they also get access to the digital app. So they get free swim and they get weekly information digitally that they can access whenever is best for them. Also, this is an option that we offer people if they don't want to join an in-person program, or if their time is tight, they work full time, etc. The digital app is really flexible, so that's another really good option. The only one that falls outside the 12-week program is our Man v Fat program, which has been highly successful for years now. Recently moved over to America, and we're doing sort of sessions in all sorts of places, which is really fun. And this is where men can join. They sign up to a team, and every time they lose weight, basically they gain a goal even before they get to the pitch, and they play a football game each week as well. So actually really good fun, and has been very successful for our male clients. So again, that's another option that we can refer people into. And just to follow that up, we do a 26 and a 52-week follow-up of all clients that access any of these options and re-access where appropriate into another option is possible. But although we do try and keep these spaces available for people that haven't accessed them at all. If, for example, somebody joins our Glow Your Group program and they, it's great, and then they finish, if they decide actually they feel need a bit of extra support, then they can come back and see their health coach, and maybe join the swim program for 12 weeks as well at a later date. So, there are options there to continue that support if people need it. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Lisa. So yeah, the adult weight management team. We've got the amazing Bev. I actually have worked with Bev now since day one for over 8 years. Very well qualified and experienced, over 30 years of experience working in this industry. She has everything from nutrition to weight management to GP referral qualifications. She's worked in gyms, she's worked in all sorts. She's absolutely brilliant, and she is so invested in her work, and she loves working with her clients and has some amazing results. Nat's another one of our amazing practitioners. I love working with these ladies. They really do bring their own style and their own personality into these programs, and that I think is more important a lot of the time than content. They bring a warmth to the service. They allow the clients to feel seen and heard and welcomed and valued. It's not just about standing at the front of a room and regurgitating information. This is a connection. But Nat has been with us now for nearly 4 years, and she brings her own personal experience with weight loss, and therefore has a different understanding. So it's really lovely to hear her view as well. And again, that makes clients feel like they're understood and they're not alone. And then there's myself. My background actually is in psychology, but I got my master's in nutrition science a few years ago, and so I think actually that combination of behaviour change and practical advice around nutrition and movement and sort of safe, effective dietary information is kind of the key. Because if it were as easy as just, like I said before, eating less and moving more, we wouldn't have a problem, would we? So we need to look at the behaviour. Why are we doing it? What things can we put in place to help make it easier for us to make some different changes and to support ourselves? And so that's really the angle that we take, is that it's not just one or the other. It has to be that pairing of behaviour change and nutrition. So that's the team. And over the 8 years we have had, and again I'm not going to read all these out for you, you don't need to read them, it's just to show you a little snapshot of the positive impact that we have been having over the 8 years that we're really proud of. Clients saying things like it's a shame we can't have further sessions in the future, which I think is always lovely, that they would like to continue the 12 weeks. People being impressed with the service has helped them to be accountable. That's a big thing, because you can do things on your own, but often the discipline's missing, and whereas joining a weekly group can be very supportive. And just comments around the practitioners being very welcoming, and like I said, that's that whole ethos around there's no judgment, there's no bullying, there's no negativity. It's all about like-minded people coming together to learn and to have that peer support, together as a group. So lots of positives, which I love to read the feedback. It actually is a highlight of my day. And yeah, may long it continue. I think that's it, Lisa. Anybody got any questions or anything I've just whizzed through there that you'd like to know more on, or and I think, Lisa, you've included email addresses, etc., haven't you? So if anybody just has questions later on or would like to run through anything, please feel free to email me or to call me. I'm more than happy to help in any way that I can, just explain what we've just discussed.
I know everything you've just been saying, Lisa. What springs to my mind is I remember when we were having the behaviour change training that all the staff at One You get, that it was really so key, that relationship with the practitioner and the coach, wasn't it, to client success. And so it is really lovely that the feedback that we get is so consistently positive about the team here. it really makes a difference, and it helps people achieve their goals, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think that we
Yeah.
can drown in content. You know, I think a lot of our clients have tried diet after diet after diet and are now scratching their heads wondering, why is this just not working for me? And there's a lot of reasons why. But like I said, the whole question around why people are overweight is so complex. There's so many reasons. There's hormonal changes, there's history, there's lifestyle, there's every, it's not quite as simple as just you're eating too much, you know, and I think that it's often dismissed. And I think the practitioners do go into, each program, each session with that, very open-minded, warm and accepting approach. And I think that's why we're still going after 8 years, I think, as well.
It really makes the difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I saw somebody was starting to type something, so please do feel free to type in any questions or unmute if you're more comfortable doing that, whatever works for you. I'll just quickly tell you them while you're thinking about any questions you might have, how to refer in. So it's so easy to refer in. So you can just go to our website, www.oneyoueastsussex.org.uk, and you'll see there on the screen in the top right hand corner there's a get started button, and professionals can use this to refer in patients, clients, or people can self-refer as well, and it takes couple of minutes to fill in. It's sort of basic contact information, what you're initially interested in, and then a member of our support team will call you back, usually within 5 working days, or you can just phone us, and the number's there, 404 600, or you can just email us hello@oneyoueastsussex.org.uk, and our wonderful support team will call people back, have nice initial chats with them, book them in for their initial health assessment. Also, health professionals can refer directly from their systems. So if you go onto your systems and you type in adult weight management, a referral form will pop up for One You East Sussex, and then that gets sent to us on a secure NHS email. So you can refer in that way as well. So yeah, that's how you refer in. It's really easy. So we're over to questions now. I can't see anyone's raised anything in the chat at the moment. I'm going to play devil's advocate and ask you a question, Lisa, that comes up quite a lot when I'm out with the engagement team.
Go for it.
So 2 questions actually, which are related. The first one is, do we offer support with medicated support? So, that we've seen a lot in the media around weight loss injections and medication. So that's one question.
We don't advocate nor prescribe. However, the practitioners are now, as of very recently, trained to field questions on the different medications. So that if a client is taking the medication, they can access the service, but we do encourage them not to really share that in the group, because it can be easily misunderstood why we're there, and we get far too many questions of people asking where they can get it, do we prescribe, can we provide it, and the answer is no. But like I said, the practitioners are trained to field those questions, but they're encouraged to not really have those discussions in the sessions themselves.
Okay, and my second question was, can we still support people that are taking the medication? You've answered that question already. Yeah, we can.
Yes, we can, because again, the advice given is the same. The difficulty with the medications is that A, it suppresses people's appetite, and B, it actually changes the mindset around what foods they want to eat. So it reduces that need for the high sugar, high fat, sort of bliss point type foods. And because of that, they often get to the end of the day and they've not really eaten anything. And so our advice would be, little, healthy, and often as you can, without putting pressure on yourself to have a big meal or to skip meals. So yeah, like I said, that we've recently put together some training so that the practitioners all feel that they have some awareness now in terms of how the medications work, how they impact the client, and how we can best guide them through that process.
Yeah. And if people ask us about the medication currently, how, are we just referring people back to their GP, or how are we dealing with that? Yeah.
Yeah, back to their GP, and obviously, you know, it's an expense. It's not the most easily accessible in terms of you know, the expense of it. So if they can afford it themselves, great. If they can't, I think the guidelines at the moment for them to be prescribed, they have to have a BMI over 30. I think it's over 30, and 4 comorbidities. So
it's not widely available anyway to a lot of people. Yeah. Okay, it's interesting, isn't it? And I know the advice is that people should have ideally that wraparound care anyway, shouldn't they? So all the other advice that we're given as part of programs will be really useful to people.
Yeah,
still.
definitely, because that support, the information is you know, the information that we give out during the sessions is vital for everybody. You know, it's not just about weight management, because it's about nutrition. You know, it's about balance. So if you're taking a medication and it, you know, that's affecting your inclination to eat, then we need to encourage them to eat sensibly.
Yeah, it's a sustainable, healthy approach, isn't it? It's not about diets. It's healthy lifestyle. Yeah. Oh, well, that's me sticking my nose in. Has anybody else got any questions at all for us about anything we've covered? I can hear your doggy.
He's chewing on a deer leg.
Oh, was it? Oh. Right, so I'll just move on. So would you all mind giving a thumbs up or a thumbs down on your react buttons to these questions now? So do you now feel that you know what our adult weight management service offers?
Oh, brilliant.
Thumbs up. Brilliant. So that's good news. Excellent. So that's everybody with a thumbs up. That's good. We've done our job. And do you feel you know how to refer into the service now as well? So if you had a client or yourselves or a friend or anybody you know. Yeah, that's all thumbs up as well, is it? Brilliant. That's good. Our work here is done. Couple of key contacts for you. Like I said earlier, we will email these slides out, so you'll have all these contact details as well. So that's Lisa's telephone, mobile, and email address there, and there's mine as well. Just to add that we do have 2 primary care liaison officers as well within my team, the engagement team, and over half of our referrals do tend to come from primary care and other health settings as well. So we've got this dedicated resource there for any of you that work in those settings, that you can contact us, and they are happy to come out, do service overviews at team meetings, do pop-ups for your patients, you know, and just generally liaise with you and make the referral process as smooth as possible. So their details are there, and again I will share these. And finally, I can see Michelle's typing, so we'll wait for that to pop up. And then there's our feedback form. So thank you so much. Sorry I have to leave. No problem, Michelle. Thanks for joining. And if the rest of you just have a moment, if you're okay to scan the QR code and fill in the feedback form, just because this is the first time we've run this series of webinars, and we're obviously looking to continually improve all the time, and so your feedback and any suggestions on how to make it even better for you be much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.